What's going on, you all? It's Key Michelle here, and welcome back to the Key to Fashion YouTube channel. So today we're going to be discussing the Met Gala, and one of the important messages that I think the Met Gala was striving to communicate. Now, the theme for the show was Sleeping Beauty's Reawakening Fashion, with the dress code being the Garden of Time. Now, the dress code was inspired by a short story written by J.G. Ballard, and while I'm not going to get too deep into the short story, one of the biggest takeaways was this concept of going back in time. And we were seeing that concept of going back in time being showcased throughout the Met Gala carpet, but with fashion. And a lot of guests stated that when they initially heard of the theme and dress code for the show, that their initial thought was, oh, going back in time, archival pieces, vintage pieces. They envisioned wearing something archival or vintage, and how that vision was the focal point and the driving factor for their outfit direction for the event. That was a consistent conversation throughout the event. Vintage fashion, archival pieces, upcycled pieces, resale fashion. That was a consistent conversation. There was also a consistent conversation regarding upcycling archival or vintage pieces, with some of the guests mentioning how some of the pieces that they were wearing were archival or vintage pieces that they upcycled to match their attire. And one of the interviews on the red carpet that I want to highlight was between actress and model Madeline Klein and actress and one of the pre-show hosts for the show, Lala Anthony. Now, during the interview, Lala Anthony asked, so where did you get that clutch? And Madeline Klein stated how the clutch was purchased on eBay, but how she upcycled the clutch with the same material from her dress. And she also mentioned how her accessories were vintage accessories from eBay. And Madeline stated how her clutch was purchased from eBay, but how it was upcycled with the same material from her dress. She then mentioned how her vintage accessories were also purchased from eBay as well, which Lala Anthony chimed in and stated how she too was wearing vintage accessories from eBay.
Tell me about this bag.
Yeah, so this is a Tommy Hilfiger clutch from eBay that we reimagined we upcycled it with the same fabric from the dress.
That is stunning. I got
Yes.
some great vintage accessories from eBay as well. Yes.
I'm wearing a collection of fine jewelry from eBay myself.
Absolutely. So I just love how eBay helped us bring our looks all together.
I know, it's beautiful, and I also feel like it fits. It's very fitting with the theme.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that was something that was being promoted as well, a collaboration between Vogue magazine and eBay. There was an ad between Vogue and eBay that was constantly being promoted throughout the show, which was once again showcasing that this is one of the messages that they were striving to get across. They wanted their guests and the viewers of the show to understand that the future of fashion is vintage, resale, and upcycle. This is something that has been on the rise. We've been seeing the rise of resale and the rise of vintage fashion for some time now, but you can tell that the Met Gala wanted to make a statement. Now, when I went to the NARTS conference in 2017, which is a nationwide conference for resale fashion business owners, entrepreneurs, and consultants, it was predicted at the conference that resale fashion will not only surpass fast fashion, but it will also become one of the highest realms in the fashion industry. Now, of course, I already know there are so many people that have already been shopping vintage, already love resale fashion, and have already been upcycling. But I love the fact that this also gives new people an opportunity to learn about this realm of fashion and to find the same joy and excitement that many of us have already been experiencing. I want to highlight upcycling a little bit here because I have started upcycling myself, and I started to upcycle because I had items in my wardrobe that I wasn't wearing, and I said, you know what, instead of donating these items, I'm going to upcycle them. And that's exactly what I started to do. And so I started to cut different aspects of those items. And these items, now that they have been upcycled, I have been wearing so much more. One of the sweaters that I upcycled, I was hardly wearing that sweater. But I said, you know what? Let me crop this sweater and let's see what we can do here. And that's all I did. That crop sweater is one of my favorite sweaters in my wardrobe now. I wear that sweater all of the time. All I had to do was upcycle it to wear it all the time. I wasn't even wearing it before. And it fits my personal style so much more, which is the point here. Upcycling, I realized, really allows you to reimagine these items in a new way, but in a way that will fit your personal style even more. And that's what it's all about. Now, resale fashion is more than just buying pre-loved items. It's about giving items life again that once told a story. It's about appreciating fashion from the past and the character that they exude. It's about promoting the importance of individuality in fashion, which ignites a lot of people's curiosity in this realm of fashion in the first place. It's about embracing clothes that are timeless, unique, and truly one of a kind. And lastly, it's about reminding fashion lovers like you all that fashion repeats itself and what goes around comes back around. But the main thing here is I want you all to fully understand that the future of fashion is vintage, resale, and upcycled. Now, to wrap this up, I hope you all found this video really helpful. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in to another video here on the Key to Fashion YouTube channel. And I hope you all have a great one.